another one where I've already done most of the turning in January 2017. Yes, hello and welcome. This is a piece of fir, a huge fir tree cut down in my mother's neighbour's garden, and this has been drying for coming on for 3 years, so I think it's about time I did something useful with it. Now it was rough turned, it's quite thick at the bottom. I've got a bit of depth there to take out and just tidy up, and then the outside is probably just needs a sanding and then sorting out the actual foot that it's going to stand on, and then I'm going to paint the life out of it, or colour the life out of it. Now the tenon on this was still in pretty good shape. It's moved only a little bit really, the fir, so it's quite nice to work with in that respect. So got it mounted back in the jaws and took out some of the thickness using the Woodcut Proform, which is a wonderful tool when you've got the hang of it. A little bit of an overhang probably on this bowl, but getting used to using that tool. And then just a little bit of sanding on the inside just to tidy it up, and then it needed to be reverse chucked so that I could turn the foot and then pay attention to the texturing and colouring. Now the texturing and colouring is completely inspired by a comment from melli, I hope one of my subscribers, but certainly someone who left a comment a couple of weeks ago on my video where I was asking for ideas for colouring my deep-sided textured bowl. He mentioned the Bungle Bungle ranges in Australia, not somewhere that I know, but if you Google them, maybe you'll see the connection with once the colour's been put on this. Yeah, entirely due to that comment, so thank you very much. I'm going to do it on some other bits of wood. This fir, not the best for texturing, unless you want to make something a little bit feathery and fluffy looking, because it does rip quite considerably. Right, so once I'd turned the foot, it's a bit out of true, you can see it in the image here, but I wasn't really that bothered. I was seeing what this texturing idea would look like. So I put in some grooves to reflect one of the features of the Bungle Bungle range. I turned them a little bit deeper. I've not shown you all the turning on this one. And then texturing, and that did take quite a long time. I have to confess to at one point getting my long-necked grinder, my Proxon out, and putting some texture on with that as well. Then trying to tidy it up so you wouldn't get splinters off it or feel hard bits of scratchy wood. So that took a bit of effort as well. I think more so for it being a softwood than had it been a hardwood. But I've got some lumps of beech in the drive that I'm going to give this a go on. Now, probably this was a bit of a mistake to make these lines so even. The black ones that have gone on, they started to look a bit artificial, man-made, rather than reflecting the hills that this is based on. So I come back and go over those a little later on. The colours in there, my favourite colours, yellow, orange and red. So what wasn't to like about this? Some of it, as you can see, I put the yellow on and covered all of it, but then a little bit more sort of spraying it in only in certain areas, the orange and then the red. And then I thought the lines just looked, well, too man-made, so they needed a bit of darkening. And some of the colours as well, if you Google the Bungle Bungle ranges, you'll see the colours vary depending on the time of day. But I felt happier with getting some dark colour going in, although in one or two places it's probably a bit splotchier than I would have liked it. Anyway, it was great fun to do. Pretty pleased with the end results. Just putting some finishing touches, putting some darkening, a little bit of faint misting with the black just to soften some of the vibrancy, and then some sanding sealer, and I finish it up with a bit of lacquer. Although it's very, very porous, this fur, and you wouldn't really know that it had had any lacquer put on it by the end. I think this is the satin lacquer as well, so it's not super shiny. And here is my Bungle Bungle Range inspired colouring and texturing effort. It's been done on a piece of fur which is really too fibrous for holding texture, so I'm going to give this a try out on a bit of hardwood another time. I think I probably made the dark lines a bit too smooth, a bit too even, but overall it was fun to do. It's a completely different look. Because this wood is so soft, it's almost furry. A Stuart Furriini bowl. Oh, please forgive me. Until next time, thanks for watching.